Jason Scott has been arrested in connection to a murder in Queens that dates back to 2021. Investigators are looking into the possibility that it was a murder for hire.
Hold up, did Remy Ma just make her son take the fall for her after she got caught trying to take out Nicki Minaj? Baby, it looks like this feud between Nicki and Remy ain't actually dead like we thought, because a word on the street is Remy and her son, Jason Scott, was plotting to unalive Nicki. This came after Remy's son was arrested and charged for the murder of Nicki's husband's cousin. Apparently, Nicki was the original target, but Jason ended up taking out Nicki's husband's cousin instead. And now people are demanding for Remy to also be put in jail since she's allegedly the one who talked her son into this mess. Remy has never hidden the fact that she don't like Nicki, but her going out of her way to take her life and even dragging her son along with her is definitely not something that was on anybody's bingo card.
Was arrested today on first-degree murder and weapons charges. It's unclear if he pulled the trigger or if he hired the hit that took the life of Darius Gilbo, who lived here at the Ravenswood houses in Astoria. The crime occurred nearby in broad daylight back in 2021. Gilbo took hits to the head and to the chest.
Now, for those of y'all who don't know what the hell is even going on or how things got this bad, let me give y'all some details, because this right here is a hot mess, to say the very least. See, it all started when news broke that Remy's son Jason Scott have been arrested on first-degree charges for aiding incident that happened back in June of 2021. Not only that, but his friend Richard Swagger was also arrested and charged in the same murder. In fact, Richard was also slapped with a first-degree murder charge in addition to criminal possession of a weapon and reckless endangerment. This immediately caught people's attention because nobody just wakes up and catches first-degree murder charges. Jason and his friend must have really done something disturbing to get themselves caught up into a situation like that, so people got to dig in for some answers. And let's just say the details of this arrest were more disturbing than we could have ever imagined. It turns out that Jason and his friend Richard killed a man named Darius Gilbo. Darius himself was actually pretty popular in the streets of Queens, New York, because of his strong gang affiliations. He went by the name D-Block, and he was among 54 people who were indicted in a sweeping investigation dubbed Operation Heatwave back in November of 2020. He was charged with supplying a ring upstate Jefferson County, according to Attorney General Letitia James. An NYPD officer who spoke exclusively to XXL magazine said police responded to a 911 call of a male shot at the intersection of 148th Street and Rockaway Boulevard, within the confines of the 113th precinct. Upon arrival, officers observed a 47-year-old male unconscious and unresponsive with multiple gunshot wounds to the head and chest. EMS responded to the location and transported the victim to the Jamaica Hospital Medical Center, where he was pronounced deceased. This came as a shock to a lot of people, but for the people who know about Remy's history with the law, this was kind of expected, because Remy herself is and probably influenced her son in all the wrong things. When he was growing up, Remy got sentenced to 8 years in prison back in 2008 when she shot her friend to death because she thought her friend had stolen money from her purse while they went out clubbing in New York. What's even crazier about this is that while she was still on trial, she ordered her goons to go after the boyfriend of the waitress who saw what she did to her friend so that the witnesses would be too scared to come forward about what went down. Like, you cannot make this up, y'all. Anyway, going back to Jason, it turns out that the man that he and his friend wasn't just another random goon in the streets. He's actually the cousin of Nicki's husband, Kenneth Petty. Once people found this out, they actually started to speculate that maybe Remy was the one who instructed Jason to commit the crime. People believe Remy is still salty about how her beef with Nicki went down, and she's still trying to get her lick back by possibly taking Nicki out for good. Nicki's beef with Remy actually started around the time that Remy was riding in jail. Just before Remy got herself cut up in all this mess, she was actually on pace to be the next big female rapper in the game, but as soon as she went to jail, Nicki got to blowing up and pretty much snatched that spot from her. At the start, they were both very supportive of each other, and Nicki was even out here demanding for Remy to be set free.
I love pina colada mixed with Remy Red. Shout out to Remy. Free Remy.
Word.
You know what? Free Remy. You free Remy.
Nicki Minaj is gained and risen to basically to the top. How do you feel about that?
I'm happy for her. That's great. I'm happy to see any black, young, old, doesn't even matter. Any chick that's from the hood trying to do a 1-2 thing. I'm happy.
However, before we knew it, they started throwing jabs at each other. Things got even worse when Nicki started to call herself the Queen of Rap, which is a title that Remy was calling herself before she went to jail. They kept going back and forth for a while, but it wasn't until after Remy came out of jail that things really escalated for the worse. She threw shots at Nicki in 2016 when she and Papoose appeared on Bunkmaster Flex for his freestyle series. Remy did not hold back from throwing shade, and she even referenced Nicki's popular "Are My Sons" line to make things more direct. She rapped, "All this talk about me and your son, I'm hot, and your whole world revolves around me. I am the sun." Remy kept this going on for a while, and at some point Nicki decided to clap back in her verse for Gucci Mane's song "Make Love," where she rapped, "Oh, you the queen of this. Here, 1 platinum plaque album flock. Beware you see silly rabbit. To be the queen of rap, you got to sell records. You got to get platas now." This is where things get nasty because this particular verse really struck a nerve in Remy, and within just 48 hours she released her infamous diss track "Shudder," and this took the internet by storm. In the song she accused Nicki of having multiple plastic surgeries, having ghostwriters, and even doing frios with industry execs to get to where she is now. Nicki did not take this very well, and she clapped back in her song "No Frauds," in which she also accused Remy of getting surgery, and even claimed she had photo from the surgeon that Remy went to prove it. Nicki also brought up the fact that Remy went to jail for living her friend, and accused her of allegedly abandoning her son Jason for a stack. She rapped, "What type of bum be a friend over Iraq? What type of mother leave her one son over a stack? Little boogie down basic be thinking she back to back. Oh, you mean back to whack." Remy later admitted that Nicki's lying about her leaving her son for a stack was actually used to him back when he was in school, and this really messed Jason up. "When I got into this beef with old girl and she was saying whatever, I was okay, because I know what the real situation is, but he's a kid, so if he goes to school and he gets into an argument with somebody, it becomes an issue." Now, I'm not trying to defend Nicki, but it's kind of crazy for Remy to expect Nicki to hold anything back from bringing these things up when she's also said some very nasty things about her that could be used to her son in the future. To ain't no rules in diss tracks. People say anything and everything, and that's just how it go. If you don't like it, don't get yourself mixed up in one. Now, going back to Jason unliving Darius, word on the street is Nicki believes that Remy ordered out a hit on her, but there was some sort of miscommunication along the way, and Darius ended up getting K instead. In fact, Nicki seemingly fueled these rumors just a few hours after Jason was arrested, when she left this cryptic message on her IG stories that said "Call Webb." She also tweeted, "Who up? What I just found out. People believe that Webb is one of the goons that Darius used to roll with when he was still alive, and she was calling on him and his people to avenge what Jason did." In fact, just hours after she made these cryptic posts, Darius's crew popped out on social media and got to making threads. They said the jail time that Jason is facing is not enough justice for them, and they going to be taking matters in their own hands.
Talking about justice for D Block now that Remy Ma son then went to jail. And I just want to say, that ain't no justice for D Block. You think D Block want sitting on D Block for his? You think D Block want sitting on D Block for his? Make it make sense. Other than his daughter and his family, ain't none of y'all supposed to be saying no like that. Yeah, because son wouldn't have been saying no like that. If that black ass by you right there, God forbid, would have got killed in these streets, ain't no way in the world me and my son D Block would have been in Sparkle Crib talking about, I hope that go to jail that by you. No way in the world. So for all of y'all posting justice for D Block, I just want to say, that sound like rats to me.
Now, Remy, on the other hand, is still being a crybaby on social media and claiming that her son is innocent. She released a statement that read, "We stand by Jason's innocence and pray that the NYPD will conduct a complete and thorough investigation to reveal the truth." But as I said before, don't nobody believe a word of what she's saying, and they're demanding for her to be thrown in jail too because they believe she had a hand in it. One person said Remy started with Nicki first. Real Nines babies know Nicki tried to give Remy her graces, but Remy tried to act like she know Nicki, and acting stank when Nicki was coming up. Remy is a for real God bless Papoose, he needs to run, not walk away from her behind. Another person said little known fact, Remy and Nicki go back farther than you all know. Remy got her fame first and finished on Nicki, started acting brand new. Nicki wasn't signed yet, she was still in the hood. Remy got locked up, and God blessed Nicki with an even bigger career than hers. When Remy got out, she did not F with Nicki, but she still showed her love. Remy be bitter, and her career went downhill. Remy also cannot outrage Nicki, and she's jealous and envious of Nicki Minaj from before she even got out. But now, I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Remy's son going to jail? And do y'all really think Remy put him up to this to get back at Nicki? Y'all then knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.